Selves. My name is Henry.
And I'm Isaac.
And we are
Wine with the Gays. Twist, twist.
It is twist today. So
And today we have a special guest. And what's her name, Henry?
Ale!
Ale! Woo!
It's your glass, Ale.
Yeah, because we need to share before we continue speaking about anything else.
On this episode, we're drinking Kim Crawford Sauvignon Blanc, and she is low calorie, or it only has 70 calories per serving.
Wow, but
Very
how many?
healthy.
But like, what is a serving?
Whatever you feel like it.
Way less than this.
I think
70
so.
calories in the whole bottle. I mean, that's a serving for me.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right, guys.
Cheers. So, Isaac.
Yes, Henry. Oh yeah. See,
Cold,
chill
yeah.
is way better.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
What are we going to be speaking about today? Wait, we should introduce Ale a little bit more.
Yes. Let's talk about our featured today, our special guest, our pied de resistance,
Mm-hmm.
Alejandra.
Okay.
So, how did you meet Alejandra? Because I think you met her before I did.
We met back in 19. No, I'm just kidding.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
I can't see.
We need to talk a little bit more serious.
Yeah, a
So,
little bit.
we met back in 2000 and I would say 8, 7.
Mm-hmm.
I was 14, 13.
I was probably like 12 or 11, maybe.
12.
Yeah, because we're only a year apart.
Yeah. And I was 13. So that's when we met. And I'm only 21. So, like a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
We don't go past 21.
Wow. I think I met her before you. I think I did.
No, because
I was little, but
we met her. Oh, yeah, you did.
I met her before.
Yeah, because you came before we came as a
I moved
family.
here in 2006-ish.
Oh, wow. So then, yeah.
Yeah.
You met me first.
And something very important to mention, we did meet in our past lives.
Yeah. Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our families, our families were friends. And then, even though I met Henry first, he was a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had my own
Isaac,
friends. I had my own group of cool kids.
Your group of Barbies.
Something like that. It was My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Okay, so back to you and Isaac.
Yes.
So Isaac and I met through his sisters, and we used to spend a lot of time dancing. So I thought he was super cool because we used to have good chemistry. And then, yeah, our friendship kind of blossomed. I feel like I had a little crush a little bit.
Yeah. I think we both did.
Yeah.
You were crushing, and I was crushing as a best friend way.
He was like my gay best friend before we knew the gay part.
Yeah.
But for me, from my little heart, definitely was more like I was crushed when he went back to California, you know.
Oh.
But yeah, that kind of happened. Then he went back home, but our families always stayed close. So that's
Yeah,
how
we really did.
Yeah.
Like I remember for like a really
For
good
years.
Yeah.
I mean,
For years.
I feel like
Always.
we stayed close ever since we met.
Yeah.
We
I
always
think what
knew them
you
as
know,
family.
you know what memory I always remember? That I think that's where our friendship truly kind of like went a little bit further than just like friends that go to the same religion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember, but Nora was there, Mirna, and it was raining hard. We were at Estrellita's house, at my sister's house, and we all were playing outside in the rain. You were there, like everybody was there.
I think I do remember.
You probably had a lot of those moments, but That's like the memory that always comes to mind. We even have a picture of that night.
For me, it was big beach trips, camping trips.
Yeah, that's
That was always
Yeah.
fun. I have a picture, but it has so many people involved.
Yeah.
But we were all so little.
Yeah.
All of us.
I mean, we always had a good time together. Like, and
Yeah.
I think that's why our families really
got
bonded.
along.
Yeah, because we were all like really easygoing.
Like
and, had fun.
escandalosos.
Yeah, we could say that.
Escandalosos. Like, not, I wouldn't say like we were party people, but we definitely like to
We knew how to
gather,
have a good
have
time.
gatherings, and
We all
have a
knew
good
how to have a good
time.
time.
Yeah.
My mom always cooking. Gloria always singing her loud
Yeah.
self.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then Karina always also.
Yeah. So that's where we like knew each other, and I think it has just evolved since
Yeah.
then. But it was a good start, and I'm very thankful for like our memories. You know, growing up together.
So
I feel like we taught each other so much. Because honestly, I didn't really have friends back in California. I don't know if I told you guys that.
Yeah.
And then the one friend that I had, he's gay now, by the way. Hey, Josiah. um,
Shout out to Josiah.
Shout out to Josiah. She's another sister. Um, he came out before me, but see, he was my only friend in California that I consider like a friend, and because of church, because we used to come every year and stay for a whole month, we were seen as like bad influence or bad what is it called?
Like,
bad influences.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, like we didn't take it so serious as you should, and he was the elder's son. So I felt like that's what like kind of pushed our friendship apart. Because after then, it wasn't the same. Like we were those buddies that used to go get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go preaching.
But your true friendship started here, like your long-lasting friendship.
Yeah, we don't really speak much at all, but we be liking each other's posts on
Yeah.
Instagram. You know, I'm really bad with keeping up with people. I'm like I don't deserve to get a it's okay because I know how bad I am. So I just accept it.
Oh.
Like you can accept me as I am or not. You know, that's how I
Yeah.
feel. But anyway, where were we?
That's how we met,
Yes, that's how we met.
which brings up what we want to talk about today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good
The
job, Ale.
topic. Ooh.
So Isaac,
Build the bridge and get over it.
your favorite thing about being Jehovah's Witness. Your favorite. What was it?
My favorite thing was the community feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something that I remember was so strong growing up because, like I tell you, I really didn't have friends. And at school, I wasn't allowed to have friends. And I actually, I was one of those, bobitos that did listen to my parents and obeyed everything. So I didn't associate myself with people from school. And it was literally, not even friendships because I used to just, hang out. And then after school, we just didn't talk at all.
Yeah.
We didn't even have each other on Instagram or anything like that. So my friends were the ones that were in the religion, which is the Jehovah Witness.
Yes. So we all grew up Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
We were in the Spanish congregation, and so that's really where our friendship began.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Isaac. I feel like community was a huge part of our environment and our upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually something that I'm very thankful for as well. I think that being exposed to also public speaking and
Yes.
being in uncomfortable situations really shaped us, and even in our careers today, we owe a lot of that to our upbringing.
1,000%.
So there's a lot of positive things.
Should drop my water. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Not Marisol dropping the water.
Oh, Marisol, she's so messy. Did we pause it or no?
No.
No, okay, that's fine. Struggling.
And are we ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Cut.
But yeah, I think that growing up, it was honestly a really wholesome way to grow up. So I
Definitely very sheltered.
Yes. I like to look at it as wholesome. But sheltered is another way to look at it.
I think it was
Yeah.
sheltered if you allowed it to be sheltered. Because unless you were homeschooled, you had the opportunity to do what you wanted.
I think, and that's what I love about this trio that we got today, because I took everything 100% real. I know you had your moment of like going through your rebel era.
Yeah.
I never went through a rebel era until literally
Your 20s.
no, dude, like the last year before I
Yeah.
actually left. That's when I actually went
Which
through.
you were like 20.
23. Well, I started exploring at 23,
Yeah.
and I left at
I'm
24.
23.
I know,
Wow.
it's crazy when you look at it.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like sometimes I give myself a lot of patience when it comes to growth outside, because when I first left, it was really hard to accept the fact that my life didn't look the way that I looked before I left.
Yeah.
In every single sense of that sentence, like literally, you know, before I left, I had a really good job. I was, you know, in the banking industry. I had a community. I had a family and everything. Everything seemed perfect from the outside, but you know, unfortunately, no one knew but me what I really was going through.
Yeah.
Because usually you can say like, oh, your true friends knew. My true friends didn't even know. Like, I never told anyone, because if I did, that was the end of my reputation, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I held myself to such a high standard as a Jehovah's Witness that I just couldn't do it, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know if that's because I was like a little bitch, or because, but I feel like honestly, it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
But I think it's good for like people that have no idea what Jehovah's Witnesses are. It is a Christian-based faith, and it is a really big organization. And so, before we get too deep into like what we experienced, I think it's important to clarify like the different stages that we were all in, because we all are, like, to your point, we're in very different stages. So Henry, like, I'm gonna start with
Ooh.
can you tell everyone like kind of like what you were raised, what level did you get to in the religion, like your involvement overall?
So me, I never got baptized. I wanted to get baptized in order to make my family happy, but when I tried getting baptized, I was like, what, 13 years old? And my parents didn't let me.
So not getting baptized, for anyone out there, is like we did believe in like getting baptized in order to be a
saved Christian,
like a devout Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
So you never reached that point.
Yeah, I never reached that point. And then when I was old enough, and all the people my age that I grew up with were already getting baptized, they were like, Henry, why aren't you getting baptized? Me, I was already doing, like, I already knew this wasn't for me. You know, I would go to the meetings, and honestly, I would just play Minecraft sometimes, like, or scroll through Instagram.
How did you get away with that? Like, I
had
don't
a
know
small
that.
phone, and I have big ass hands.
I know. That's true.
But like, how old were you? Because we all like were involved very young.
When I knew it wasn't for me,
Yeah.
I was probably like 14. 14 is like, because I tried so hard.
14 was around the time that I left.
But by the time you left, I was already doing things.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You were only 14? Wait, 8 years ago? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's 23.
23.
That's kind of shocking, actually, to me. Wow.
Yeah,
I was
to
already
me too.
in high school and in middle school, like having crushes on guys. I came out as bi to my close friends in school, and then basically until I got into high school, I pretended. I pretended. I knew what I needed to know, but I always knew I didn't want to get into it because it wasn't for me. I knew what I needed to know to get away with it.
Yeah.
So until I realized that I could afford the lifestyle that I wanted, which is not the lifestyle that I have. I wanted to be, married. I wanted to have what Jehovah's Witnesses want you to have, but with a man. That's what I wanted. And unfortunately, that's not what happened,
I learned something new. I did not know that about.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to be a hoe. I really didn't. I wanted to just have.
The whole life chose me. I didn't choose it.
Obviously, I wasn't going to lose my virginity to the man I was going to marry because they had already been lost, but I wanted to have one partner. I wanted to grow old with them. And, it could happen in the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, I mean, my mentality has changed since then. I'm more open to other things. But, like, that is what I wanted.
But that was your level of, like, commitment to the religion, right?
Yeah. I wasn't committed.
Yeah.
I wasn't committed, but I had to pretend in order to not get kicked out until I was ready.
Yeah.
So that is why I pretended.
Okay.
Because I could have been on the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And what about you, Isaac? Like, what was your level of involvement? I know it looks totally different than what Henry, but like, tell us about it.
My level of involvement. I got baptized when I was 16. So I wasn't a kid when I got baptized. I knew what I was doing. But also at that time, I had already gone through a letdown of my faith before and kind of recovered from it. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever you lose faith and then recover it, it comes back stronger. So it helped me kind of like believe in the fact that God could help me again. Kind of like gave me a reset after praying for so many years, right? To like get what was quote unquote wrong with me out of like the way. Yeah, but anyway, so my involvement started back when I was 16. Obviously, I was born into it. I started taking it super serious. I mean, as soon as I got baptized, I started pioneering auxiliary, which is like 50 hours a month back in the day.
Which means you door knock or you do some sort of volunteer work for like an extended period of time, and you are held to that amount of time a month.
Like, I'm not gonna say I did it. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna say I did it every like month. I did it, but like at least 3 to 5 times a year I would. And the thing is that was fun for me as well, because I used to, go preaching with people that I hung out with at church.
Yeah.
However,
let's mention the fact that preaching was sometimes, depending on who you were with, a good quality time to get to know other people.
Yeah.
And also, honestly, hang out with friends.
Yeah. Because who else were we supposed to hang out with?
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
And the thing is that, like, if I'm gonna be preaching, I'd rather be preaching with my friends.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to my involvement, I got baptized. I was an auxiliary pioneer. Then I was like, you know what? I graduated from high school. Let's try regular pioneering. And that's when I started regular pioneering, which means you go door knocking for 70 hours a month.
I thought it was 80.
No, it was 70 when I started.
I never did that.
Well, like back in the day, it was 120.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that was. I mean, you couldn't.
I always did my 30.
Really, bro?
I'll hold your glass. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah, but after after I decided to become a regular pioneer, I got offered the position of ministerial servant when I moved here to Charlotte. That basically means that you're preparing to be an elder or a pastor in other churches. So yeah, my involvement was very much active
Until what age?
until the age of 23.
Yeah. So like most of your life was in the
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness space.
You know what's funny? My parents, when I was little, would be like, "Look at Isaac. Look how he is doing."
I was the example.
Yeah.
He was the example. My mom, at least.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't your biggest fan. No
He
offense.
never was. Because he knew.
Yeah, we all knew.
We'll get into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. What about you, Ale? What was your involvement?
Yeah.
So-
This one's good.
So I was raised by a God-fearing woman, right? My mom Gloria. She
Mm-hmm.
raised us all as Jehovah's Witnesses, and from a very young age, I've always loved to read. So like, I was one of those kids that like read the Bible. Like, I can probably say that I've read the Bible probably 20 times front and back. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
from a very young age. And so, like Isaac, I thought it was my world, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was everything for me. And I got baptized at 10.
Wow.
10 years old. Like,
She
I
was
was
a child
baby.
star.
Yeah, like I could not imagine. But of course, like my dad was an unbeliever, and that's what you call someone that. You
Sorry.
okay?
I just don't get how you can make such an important decision at 10 years old.
You just can't. I think about it now, and I'm like, wow. But my dad was not a believer, and so in that sense, I think that actually drew me closer to the religion and to God, because I didn't want to be like my dad, and so like I was around the congregation a lot more than probably a normal family was,
Yeah.
which I'm very grateful for, because you know there's a lot of people that taught me a lot. But as I grew older, I became a lot more involved. Oh, involved, and I evolved.
Yeah.
So I started pioneering regular.
70 hours.
70 hours. I moved to a foreign language.
Brazil. Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Sorry.
She speaks Brazilian.
She's Brazilian. She speaks the samba.
But I mean, I think I was like 17 when I moved to the Portuguese congregation, and then of course I pioneered for 10 years. So I was also married to someone that was an elder, which is like someone that is held with really high standards. And I
What I was getting prepared for to do next.
Exactly. So that was until I turned 26?
Mhm.
No, 27. How old am I? 29? No, I was 26 when I left. 26. Yep. So
Damn.
I think we all have such like different stories, and I think that's why like our views may look different, because we definitely, like Isaac and I definitely grew up in the church.
I
And-
did too, but I always knew it wasn't for me.
Yeah, which I think is awesome. Like, I admire that you from a very young age were like, hey, I don't want to commit to this. But like, I think Isaac and I our family has always been, not that your family isn't important to you,
No, yeah.
but I think for us, I know for sure
Influential.
for me, my mom was like my everything, and so for me it was highly important to like make her proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for you it could be similar, you know.
For me, it was definitely to make my parents proud. I think the last probably 4 years, that was my only motivation, and that's why I was such a good Jehovah Witness before I decided to start exploring around. I wanted to make sure that my parents had the kid that they dreamed of. I wanted to give them that, and I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I did give them that, and then I was like, you know what? I am ready to now live my own life. And unfortunately, that's where our next conversation,
Yeah.
our next topic starts. So, obviously, after growing up as Jehovah Witness, you and I got baptized. Henry never did. Our the outcome that we
I don't
had
regret it
was
whatsoever.
was very different from you. And I don't know
But
how.
similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, to a certain extent, I feel like it's very much similar because I don't know if it's because I'm gay or if it's because I decided to leave
Well, that's where
growing
I'm
up in
going
it.
with this.
Because I never got baptized. So I don't understand why the majority of the Jehovah's Witnesses treat me the way they do. You know?
Yeah.
I think it's also because of the.
I think it's homophobia.
Well, you also gotta remember though, and take it with a grain of salt, right?
Uh-huh.
And just throwing it out there. This is not to talk bad about anyone or the religion. This is just me throwing facts, right? And this can actually be like you can Google this on jw.org and find facts of what I'm speaking.
Walk us through, like, you grow up in this religion, right? You decide, hey, I no longer want to follow. Like, what does it look like for someone, or what did it look like for you when you said, hey, I no longer want to live this lifestyle? Like, what were the challenges that you experienced? Because I think that's kind of where you were going with
Yeah. That was a very difficult time in my life, I will say, honestly. I've never really experienced what it is to be depressed. I'm not a person that really gets depressed easily. Um, I don't like to accept it on myself. I know that it exists, and obviously I go to a therapist here and there, so like I respect it and everything, and I know that, you know, I did have it back in the day. But I was just like a different person. If you would have known back in the day, my name was Edwin. The Edwin, right? Of like 15, 16, 17, 18 that was still like hoping and trying to be the best Jehovah Witness that there is. I just ran out of energy at the end. Like I was 23 and my mom was still not happy with anything that I did. And I know that's gonna sound very like I don't know what's that word called, but like everybody experiences that. But my parents really didn't have a reason why not to be 100% happy with who I was. I had a great job, a great career, right? I mean,
you were exemplary.
Exemplary in the
like in the faith.
In the faith. I wasn't a mujeriego, you know.
for your own reason.
But you know, like I always respected, and it's just something that I don't think you could ever emotionally prepare yourself for, because you truly don't know and don't understand until you're going through it, and every single experience is very different. Because like, you know, Henry said, his family treated him like they treat him like that for no reason, because he's truly not even baptized. Like he doesn't belong to any religion, really.
You know what? If my parents, if they didn't treat me the way they treat me, I would be happy to say I was never Jehovah's Witness. But because of the way that they do treat me, it's like if I was baptized.
Yep.
So imagine if I actually was baptized. Like,
it's like what's the purpose of you having to like endure all that bullying of people telling you to get baptized and why are you baptized and why are you baptized, and you stick into it because you want to be true to yourself, but they were pushing you to do something that was fake to you. Just
But
for
I wouldn't consider it bullying either. I think
well,
that's
it's not
a little
bullying,
bit-
but
It's
in a
more
way,
like persuading.
persuading very
pushing.
hardly.
It's just pushing because I was never actually bullied into it. Like, yeah, I was like, they would hold me, like, they wouldn't invite me to everything. They would view me as
Bullying.
No, Isaac.
Yes, it is.
You're just a
Look,
little bitch. It's different.
My dad says that everyone's reality is valid. So I think that from your perception, maybe because you're looking at, maybe like
the background.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not.
And
Where
so
it
you're a
comes
little bit
from.
more passionate about it. But I do think, like, to Henry's point, if he didn't feel like
I
it
didn't
was
feel like I
bullying,
was
that's
being
valid
bullied.
too.
I felt kind of pushed away.
Like,
I felt like I
rejected?
wasn't
But
good enough. Rejected.
Even from
Rejected.
family, which that's something that pisses me off.
Yeah, even from family. It did get to that point where even, I mean, I was supposed to go to Europe with my family, with your sister.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh no, you have to be baptized in order to go." So I
And
was
it's like, what?
wow.
What does France have to do anything with fucking being baptized? Sorry for my language. But like, literally, what does it like? Why does
'Cause
France
they
have to
wanted
do with
holy
Jehovah Witnesses?
things.
So I think, like, sorry, Henry, go ahead.
No, what bothered me was why make those plans in front of me? And then, obviously, they had a meeting by themselves.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you know what? You're not invited anymore because you're not baptized." The part that hurt me the most was when one of my aunts sent my mom a message saying that, "Hey, I don't want your kids over here alone anymore because they're not doing great spiritually, and I don't want them to be a bad influence on my daughters."
Yeah. Your
So
cousins.
So even before you left, just because you didn't want to commit, you already felt that rejection.
Bullying. I'm just kidding.
I mean, if that's your
True.
reality,
It is.
you know, I kind of agree with Henry. Where, like,
I don't think it's
I wouldn't
bullying.
see it bullying, but I do think, like, there is a sense of rejection, even
Yeah.
without you even maybe vocalizing, "Hey, I don't want this to be my life."
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the challenges that both of y'all experience is that rejection, that initial rejection from your family. And it's like you go from having a huge family because y'all are big
Yeah.
to now, like,
We have
and
to-
for you is even harder because you were the first to kind of leave.
Yeah.
And then thankfully Henry had you, which I think is a big blessing when he decided to leave.
Yeah.
Something
But
like
I
that.
think that's what the reason why also, and I want to get into this subject really quick and do I divert and talk about this because
it's not a diverse.
it's very important to point this out. Mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming out of a controlled environment, high controlled environment, you're always on flight or fight with every single decision that you make. Because it's either cold or hot. Like, you can't be in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's people that are probably going to be watching this and say, like, well, you just took it too far. No, I don't think that's it. I think if the rules are there, are meant to be followed, right?
Yeah.
Or else, I mean, obviously, look at all the changes that are happening now because they had so many man-made rules that they created themselves from their brain, not from the Bible. Now they're having to make all these changes that look drastic, but really, who cares if you have a beard or not? Who cares if you wear flats, like slacks or not, right? That's not the point. The point is the fact that why were there ever rules that were made from someone's brain and not God? That's the issue that I have. But no one pays attention to somebody that is this fellowship, unfortunately, even though he's speaking from jw.org.
Yeah.
Or, as you know, jw.org likes to say, the body and the blood. No, what are they called? I don't even forgot their name. The anointed, governing body. They're not even anointed anymore.